Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. The Security Council just voted on a draft by China and Russia to give diplomacy another chance. Under US pressure, unfortunately, the Council refused. This is the second time in 1 week that diplomacy has been blocked. In my address to the Council, I highlighted the following points. For over 20 years, Iran has been a responsible member of the NPT. We pursued our inalienable right to peaceful nuclear energy with transparency. In 2015, after 2 years of talks, the JCPOA, or Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, was reached. It was endorsed unanimously by Resolution 2231. The IAEA issued 15 consecutive reports confirming Iran's full compliance. No other nuclear program has been inspected more. Yet in 2018, the United States walked away from the deal in violation of Resolution 2231. No legal grounds, no justification. Iran remained fully compliant for a year. Only after the E3 failed to honor their promises did Iran take lawful, gradual, remedial measures. Today's crisis is the direct result of US withdrawal and Europe's inaction. The US betrayed diplomacy. The E3 buried it. For years, the US and the E3 misrepresented Iran's peaceful program. They echoed Israel's false claims, even as Israel maintains the region's only nuclear arsenal outside the NPT. The double standard is glaring. Despite assassinations, sanctions, and bombings of IAEA-monitored facilities, Iran has not violated the JCPOA, the NPT, or our safeguards obligations. When the current US administration called for dialogue, Iran responded in good faith. 5 rounds of talks were held. On the eve of the 6th, Israel, with US backing, attacked nuclear facilities in Iran and murdered our scientists, including women and children. This was state terrorism. It was never condemned by the E3, US, or even IAEA. Instead of diplomacy, the E3 pursued a snapback. Iran, by contrast, signed a new memorandum with the IAEA on 9 September in Cairo. It was welcomed by the agency and the international community. But in New York, all of Iran's constructive proposals were ignored. Russia and China acted responsibly. They proposed a 6-month extension of Resolution 2231 to preserve diplomacy. The E3 and the US blocked it. Their words and actions do not match. Their goal is confrontation, not dialogue. Iran's position on snapback is clear. It is illegal, void, and has no standing. The E3, having breached the deal, cannot claim significant non-performance. Resolution 2231 restrictions will expire permanently on 18 October 2025. Any attempt to revive or extend them is null and void. We call on the Secretary General to stay clear of any role in reviving expired sanctions. Those who pursue these unlawful paths will bear full responsibility for damaging the United Nations' credibility and for the humanitarian impact on the Iranian people. This dangerous precedent must not stand. If agreements can be broken at will, no nation can trust international commitments. If unlawful measures are enforced by power instead of law, the Security Council itself will lose authority. Let me end with this. Military attacks have failed. Snapback will fail too. The only solution is dialogue and diplomacy. The JCPOA proves this. Iran will never bow to pressure. We respond only to respect. The choice is clear: escalation or diplomacy. The responsibility lies with those who broke their commitments and undermined international law. And thank you.
Foreign Minister, can I ask you, James Bays from Al Jazeera, snapback seems inevitable in a matter of hours. What will that mean for the people of Iran? And after snapback in the short term, is there any opening now for diplomacy?
Well, as I said in my statement, this mechanism is the activation of this mechanism is illegal and should considered void and null. We don't think it can impact the people of Iran, especially the people of Iran's determination to defend their rights. The question is, what it impacts is diplomacy. It closed the way of diplomacy. We have been always ready to engage in diplomacy, and we have proved that when we negotiated JCPOA, when we negotiated with the United States before the attacks, and every time we were called for that. I came here with clear proposals to give diplomacy more chance, and I regret that the proposals were refused by the other side. So we have to think about the diplomacy rather than confrontation and escalation.
Foreign Minister, your reaction, and what are the next steps now for the Islamic Republic of Iran?
Well, we have already said that this act by E3 and the decision by the Security Council would affect Iran's cooperation with the agency. I made a very good agreement with the agency to make a new framework for cooperation between Iran and the agency in the new circumstances, which was signed in Cairo. And it is very unfortunate that if everything is activated, then this agreement between Iran and the agency would also is gone and cannot be implemented.
ولی دقیقاً یک روز بعد از رسیدن شما به اینجا آقای خامنه‌ای گفتن ما با آمریکا مذاکره نمی‌کنیم و یکی از خواسته‌های اروپایی‌ها همین مذاکره با آمریکا بود. درسته؟
Diplomacy is not limited to negotiation with the United States. We have unfortunately a terrible experience of negotiating with the United States. We negotiated once in 2015 and we made a good deal. We made a deal that the whole world celebrated as an achievement of diplomacy, but what happened? Only after 1 year, the United States withdrew and reimposed its sanctions. Again this year, we were asked to negotiate and we accepted. What happened? Right in the middle of negotiations, the United States decided to attack us. Israel attacked and US joined. So we have no reason to trust Americans when it comes to negotiation. So what His Eminence the Supreme Leader said is absolutely correct, that negotiation with the United States is in fact a pure dead end.
Do you think that nuclear diplomacy is dead now, given all your efforts failed and
Diplomacy would never die, but it would be certainly more difficult and more complicated than before.
Question to Camelia Intikhabi Fard, Chief Editor of the Independent Persian. You just discussed about a proposal has been approved with France, and you had a framework which has been considered as the base on the negotiation with the others. Could you please elaborate more about this proposal and the other proposal which you had and currently being refused?
I will elaborate on those proposals in proper time. Some of them are still under consideration. We have shown our good faith by presenting good, doable proposals which could have resolved this problem without any need for tension or confrontation. I'm so sorry that my proposals have not been met in a positive way, and I hope that in the remaining hours, would be some chance for them. I will give details of those proposals, as I said, in proper time. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.